Sigaliswagwake. Hello everyone, welcome to Ngwakwa, our foods. Today we're going to be talking about planting and caring for tobacco. We hope to have more on our foods and traditional plants in future videos, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and click on notifications for new uploads.
Yo, ya won't go out on your day. Ya won't go out, Lodina Shonia. Ya won't go out, Sojina Weha, Sojina Weha, we are Hinega, now we are here.
Before we begin, it's important to note that not all of our knowledge and information is meant to be public. Others have a history of exploiting our knowledge. Also, different communities have different protocols about growing and handling tobacco. What we are sharing today is basic information on how to grow and care for tobacco plants for personal offerings. For example, before we plant each year, we offer tobacco and give thanks for all of creation and the abundance around us. If someone offers you tobacco seeds to grow, we want to help you understand how to plant and care for them. Tobacco seeds are tiny little seeds that are housed in little pods that grow from the flowers of tobacco plants. We typically get ready to plant in mid-May here in Oneida. To begin, we prepare a small area for planting. It's important that your soil is well drained so your plants don't drown. I put brightly colored sticks where I want to concentrate on planting the seeds. The sticks are spaced 12 to 18 inches apart. Then I take the seeds and sprinkle them in front of each stick. One pod holds enough to sprinkle in front of several sticks. After the seeds are on the ground, I gently take my hands and brush them over the spots where I laid the seeds down to help cover them a little bit in soil. It rained right after we planted, so we didn't water them right away. If you don't get enough rain, be sure to water your growing plants. Also, be sure to remove any growing plants other than the tobacco plants near the sticks. We planted beans and marigolds on the outside of the tobacco bed. We also left a mullein plant to grow just outside of the tobacco bed. Pretty soon you will notice little patches of tobacco plants growing near the sticks. If you have any sticks that don't seem to be having enough plants, you can take a spoon and transplant some from thicker areas. Be sure to water these transplanted tobacco plants right away. Once your plants start to grow a little more, you'll notice some plants will get bigger than the other plants. That means it's time to start thinning out the tobacco bed. To do this, I remove all the tiny plants, leaving out 3 bigger plants near each stick. If you feel bad about thinning these like I do, you can dry them out and use them as an offering. This is what our plants look like in early June. By early July, our plants are really growing great. Recall that I left about 3 plants near each stick. The goal was to have just 1 plant by each stick, so I thinned the plants out again. This time, since the plants are much bigger, I put them in buckets and give them to family and friends so they can plant them at their houses. After I have the plants thinned out to just 1 plant per stick, I lay down a thin layer of grass clippings. We don't use any herbicides or pesticides on our property, so no need to worry about contaminating our soil here. The grass clippings help keep moisture in the soil and slow the growth of weeds. Here's what our tobacco bed looks like, fully thinned out with a fresh layer of grass clippings. By early August, our plants are growing tons of little yellow flowers. These flowers will eventually grow into seed pods. We regularly pinch off the growing flower buds. In cases where we don't prune in time, we pinch off the growing flowers. Use caution when doing this, as tobacco plants are sticky and you can absorb the nicotine through your skin. Having this small amount of plants doesn't pose much risk. When pruning flowers and flower buds from our tobacco plants, we often leave 1 plant to flower. This is what our tobacco bed looks like after we pruned all the flowers and buds from all the plants except for 1. As the plants continue to grow, we prune some more. This time, we remove about 1/4 to 1/3 of the largest leaves near the bottoms of the plants. Then we take the leaves and string them up and hang them to dry. We continue this process a couple times during the summer. This is what our leaves look like when they're getting ready to dry. At the end of the growing season, we pull up the entire plants and string them up and hang them to dry. We leave them to dry for a few months. When the leaves are all dry, we put them in a brown paper grocery bag so that we can begin to clean them. We rub the plants between our hands so the leaves flake off. We pull out any sticks, stems, and seed pods. After our tobacco is cleaned, we put it away either in a leather tobacco pouch or in glass jars for safekeeping. We are still learning about our foods and traditional plants. People have different ways of growing them. We are sharing the way we learned how. One of the most amazing parts about this journey to get to know our plant relatives better is that it is connecting us to so many people throughout the Haudenosaunee Confederacy and throughout Indian country. If you have any methods you want to share, please feel free to drop them in the comments or send us an email. Yawa, Danito.